Making your own jerky is something that you can do without having to go buy a bunch of new equipment. Most of what we'll show you today can already be found in your kitchen. And for just a few dollars, you can find the cure and the seasoning that you need all in one packet at your local grocery store. The hardest part of the process is getting your elk. But once you have your elk, you'll want to cut the meat into thin slices. As you're making your cuts, you'll want to make sure to remove any excess fat away from the meat and cut them down into small slices. And as you get going here, you're going to find slices like this will work the best. This allows for the cure and the seasoning to get on all sides of the meat to make the best jerky slices possible. We found that the best batch size is 2 pounds. So you'll want to get a scale, zero that out with your bowl, and measure in 2 pounds of meat. There are several different seasonings and flavors to choose from at the store, like a teriyaki blend or a pepper blend or a pepperoni blend. Today I'll be showing you a pepperoni blend. All the packets consist of 2 parts. First is the seasoning packet on my right and the cure on the left. Based on the amount of meat that you've chosen, in this case we have 2 pounds, it will call for a certain amount of each. So you'll measure those out in your tablespoons and teaspoons based on the batch size that you've chosen. Now again, we're doing the 2 pounds. If you only had 1 pound or wanted to do more, like 4 pounds, you could certainly do that. You just want to make sure that you stay proportionately with what the recipe calls for. Once you have the 2 parts measured out, you'll want to put them in the shaker that comes with the product. You can see the 2 parts there, and firmly shake up the product, mixing the seasoning and the cure so that we can then sprinkle over the pieces of jerky. Next, you'll want to lay your batch size of 2 pounds out evenly on a tray like this. This allows you to spread the seasoning and cure evenly across each piece of meat. Once they are all evenly laid out on a tray, take the seasoning and sprinkle over each piece of meat. Spread as evenly across as you can as you move from each piece. As you're sprinkling the meat, you'll want to use about half of what you've measured out in your salt shaker for the first side. And then once you've covered everything on the first side of the tray, you'll want to flip over each piece of meat and repeat the process using the remaining half of your seasoning and cure on the other side of the meat. Once each side has been covered, you'll want to stir it around a little bit and put it in a bowl. And by mixing it around in the bowl like this, that will make sure that all the sides are evenly covered, including the edges, because you want to get that cure and that seasoning evenly distributed. Now you'll put the meat in Ziploc bags. Make sure to label your Ziploc bags with the seasoning flavor. And you will put those in the fridge, and those will be in the fridge for anywhere from 24 to 36 hours to marinate and cure the meat. Once the meat has marinated and cured, place the meat evenly on the smoker and turn the smoker to the smoke setting and check it about every 30 minutes. But we found that anywhere from an hour to 90 minutes the jerky would be done. And there's how to make your own jerky.